K98talk.com, a leader in internet radio. So grab your seatbelts and take the ride of your life on K98talk.com.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny.
You know what time it is, so sit back and get ready for the Stafford Voice, your dose of conservative in a world of liberal.
3, 2, 1.
Good evening. Hey, how you doing? I am your host, Daniel Stafford, and yes, you are listening to The Stafford Voice, where we are conservative in a world of liberal. And tonight, we've got a smorgasbord of things to talk about. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump, and he continues to bring the Trump effect. Iran, deal or no deal. Let's throw in something that's coming out tomorrow, hitting the book stands. And, you know, after all, somebody out there has said something so stupid and so ignorant. We're going to highlight them and congratulate them on their abundance of ignorance. So, I want you to know there are many ways to listen. So, set the channel as a favorite. Whatever you have to do so you don't get left behind. If for some strange, crazy reason you do miss the show, you can catch the replay, so just sit tight. There is no need to panic, because, well, we've got you. And in the case you aren't already following on social media, you can find me over on the Twitters at Stafford Voice, as well on the Facebooks. All you got to do, just search for The Stafford Voice. Also, while you're out on the interwebs, do a quick little search and follow Politainment and K98 Talk, where you can stay, you know, you've got to stay up to date on everything that's happening at the station. There are so many new shows coming out, I can't even keep up with them. Literally, I can't keep up with them. There are so many incredible shows, that new ones, as a matter of fact. I think they're adding every day, and or every other day. But while I've got you, I want you to know that you can stay up to date with everything and anything over at thestaffordvoice.com or politainment.net. Also, again, make sure you send some love to Rick and the guys over at K98 Talk. They've given us a home here. We absolutely love it. We hope to be here for a long, long time. Absolutely love everyone associated with K98 Talk. Now, I feel like I need to explain to you what happened last week. Last week had some personal issues come up. On top of that, we had some serious storms coming through the Midwest, and actually right over the house and the studio, which can sometimes knock power out. And, well, we wouldn't have been able to bring you the show anyway. We had some outages, and, there were some small little rope tornadoes that touched down. Luckily there wasn't anything nearby. No damage to anybody that I know of. They were out in the field, and many people have reached out, and I thank you for it. Thank you for your concern. But something I want to talk about tonight is we've talked about this before, and I refer to it as the Trump effect. Donald Trump, he's out there and he's making waves. He is saying a lot of the things that mainstream people on the street are thinking, but really they're kind of held back from saying it because they don't know how to say it in a politically correct manner. They want to make sure they don't offend somebody, because you don't know. You could be walking down the street and the guy, gal, it cousin, whatever it is, could be walking next to you, and you don't know what they identify as. They could identify as a black guy. They could identify as a woman. They could identify as a goat. Whatever. They can. To be politically correct these days is to just shut your mouth and not say anything. Well, Donald Trump is having none of it. He's not putting up with it. As a matter of fact, like I said, he is out there saying what a lot of normal people, like you and I, are wanting high-profile people to say, but just won't say it. And recently, he was questioned by someone in the audience who I believe to be a Mexican guy. But something that Trump does is he throws it right back at you. And he's doing a great job with this, with the media. He continues to throw things back in their face. And right now the media is on their face and they don't quite really know how to handle him. And neither does any of the other presidential candidates that have thrown their name into the ring. They don't know how to respond to it. Some of them out there, they're just going to be quiet. Others are going to fight him. And instead of realizing the potential that he has, I mean, who knows what his aspirations are? Is his aspiration really to be president of the United States? Or is he wanting this all to go to his head? I mean, after all, everybody knows that Donald Trump is all about Trump. He's all about himself. And if a couple of people can be employed on the way up, so be it. He doesn't care. And he'll tell you that. He'll tell you, I don't care. I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you, and if I want to fire you, I'll fire you. If not, then whatever. I don't care. Get out of my office. Or get to the question. Or, you know what? First thing we're going to do is we're going to build a fence. All of that sounds great, but somebody has to be able to figure out how to respond to what Donald Trump is doing. And if you're a contender out there in the presidential race on the Republican side, let the Democrats deal with Donald Trump. Let the media deal with Donald Trump. Let these presidential candidates like Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio or Carly Fiorina, let these other people go out without any worry of the media, without any worry of the Democrat Party. Let them go out and share their message. Let Donald Trump be the one to throw the media off course. Let him be the one to throw the Trump effect. And again, in this little soundbite, Trump was questioned by a Mexican guy. I can't remember if this was yesterday or if it was today, but excellent soundbite. He throws it right back at him, and you just have to hear this. Check this out.
I'm incredibly insulted by the remarks.
I was waiting for this.
Of course you were.
Good.
But hey, I'm a friend of Freedom Fest.
Good.
I believe in freedom. I believe in the rule of law.
Good.
I believe in property rights. My heart goes out to Mr. Jamil.
Good.
There are illegal immigrants that are horrible and terrible. There are also legal immigrants that are horrible and terrible.
It's true.
So it's a question about rule of law. I am going to ask a question.
Ask a question, please.
My question is...
Did the government of Mexico ask you to come up here and make this?
Of course.
Okay. Go ahead. Ask your question. Ask your question.
I knew you were going to say that.
Come on. You got a lot of people waiting.
Would you build walls around all the states in the United States to prevent all of those rapists and killers that come from elsewhere in the United States in order to avoid the problem?
No, I'd build a wall. I would build a wall between our country and Mexico because people come from all over the world.
Senor Trump,
let me just tell you, sir, do you want to hear the answer? And all of the people, because I encourage legal citizenship. I encourage it, and I would encourage it, and I would encourage Hispanics, and I would encourage people from all over. But what I don't encourage is people coming into our country illegally, and I encourage where a government forces some people in that the government doesn't want, and these people reap havoc on our population. Thank you very much for your question.
Okay. Outstanding. You know, again, these people are completely thrown off by what Trump is doing. Completely thrown off. Who cares if Donald Trump gets up there and says he wants to build a wall? Great! I'm all for building a wall. It worked for China. China built the Great Wall. I don't remember where everybody was a little butthurt over China wanting to build a wall and keep conquerors out and keep... This is unreal. The fact that somebody is not afraid to get up there and want to defend our country. Now, how do you define a country? By its borders, by its culture, and, you know, some people out there, they're going to say language. You know, yes, we need to publicly declare that the national language in America is English. Who cares whose butt gets hurt? Nobody cares. This is America, we speak English. But we have to define ourselves. If it takes building a wall on our southern border to keep murderers and rapists and drug lords, more on that in a bit, if we're trying to keep drug lords out, we can't do it without putting some sort of security in place. Some of that security just might have to be a wall. Maybe we have to actually create some shovel-ready jobs and put people down on the border and dig a trench that's 30 feet down or something, so we can build a footing for this wall, this magnificent wall that everybody has in their utopian dreams of building a wall. I mean, we've talked about doing one and putting one up since the 80s. And it's never happened. Oh, well, we've got this section here that was built. Great! Awesome! What else are we going to do? Oh, well, we got guards. Okay. Do they have the authority to act? Or do we detain them and ask them questions, or and release them back to the wild, or do we give them a piece of paper that acts as a cheat sheet on what to say, what to do, how to act in order to get here and do what they have to do to stay? Again, the Trump effect is in... He has put it in play, and he has so many people's heads are spinning. For instance, on The View, the other day, these people's heads are spinning like something out of The Exorcist. This is almost one of those ones where we could have saved it for the end of the show on one of those Who Said That segments, but it fits with what we've got going here, so you know what? Let's play it.
Reported 5 times. Yes, everyone was paying attention.
How did he get back in? How did he get back in?
Trump
it interesting that this happened as soon as Trump started to talk about this. He randomly found a gun from a federal agent.
Criminal wasn't watching CNN.
But look at the news. They reported it. They should have been showing more of these beforehand. For instance, I just feel it's very interesting. And how do you feel about...
Okay, so now we've got the leftists in the media throwing out conspiracy theories that Donald Trump has given somebody a weapon In a roundabout way, they're saying that Trump was in charge of this and in charge of getting a weapon out there for an illegal immigrant who happened to be released multiple times and who accidentally shot someone and killed him. Well, if you're not catching on by now, he's doing a pretty damn good job. I don't completely agree with everything he says. The thing that I agree with is he is making heads spin. He's months and years down the road, somebody is going to look back at this and say, Trump made the 2016 election what it was. This is going to be a pivotal election, no matter what. We will either go down a path that takes us somewhere like where Greece is, or we can adjust course, turn this ship around, and do some good. And yes, if you're in the chat room over at k98talk.com/chat-room, Ron posted a great comment. He's going to drive political scientists crazy for years to come. Exactly. That is exactly what he is doing. He's turned the media upside down. He's turning politics upside down. These political scientists, they're going to have to create the Trump formula on how to grade things now. He's upsetting a lot of people. Outside of the media, even. You know, I don't know if you guys caught it, but El Chapo, I don't even know what his real name is, but El Chapo, the escaped Mexican drug lord. I mean, this is a dangerous dude. I mean, he is responsible for more than half of the narcotics that are brought into the United States. Over half of the narcotics that are trafficked into the United States are under his watch. This is the guy. Now, El Chapo, what the heck is his name? Joaquin Guzman Lara, whatever, we'll just call him El Chapo, because it's easier. Hell, he probably can't even pronounce his damn name. But, so, El Chapo busts out of jail. Now, this dude is a multi-billionaire. Okay, he's got plenty of money. This guy is putting people to work. He has created shovel-ready jobs. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures of the tunnels that they've built for him in order to traffic the narcotics back and forth. And aside from countless hundreds and thousands, probably millions of people through these tunnels, Chapo, where do they say what El Chapo means? Something about being a short dude, because he's only like 5'8", and he's a couple inches shorter than me. But anyway, so Captain Short Dude here busts out of jail for whichever time, this is the third or fourth or fifth time. He gets out of jail, gets back into Mexico, and he gets out on Twitter, and he says stuff like, we're going to have to keep the language from not being colorful. But in the past, okay, so this is kind of in a response to what Trump had said in past comments. Trump has said that El Chapo embodies, quote, everything that is wrong with Mexico. And at some point he said that he would kick his colorful language. He would kick his ass. Well, so Chapo, the little dude, gets out and he hits Twitter and says, if you keep pissing me off, I'm going to make you eat your words, you effing blonde milkshake. I think that's what he's trying to say. it's blocked out, so you can't really make it. But I guess in Mexico, a milkshake is a homophobic slur. Whoop-de-doo. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump's been called worse. Well, he later posted that, here it is. He later posted on Twitter that never say never, this world keeps turning. In this life, he who risks nothing cannot win. Yeah, well, isn't that what Trump's doing? Doesn't care what he has to do to win. I mean, Trump, yes, is an accomplished businessman. I mean, you look at Trump Towers, you can go out to Vegas and see so much stuff with Trump's name attached to it. Wherever you're at, there's something that's got Trump's name attached to it. Some way, somehow. Anyway, so the midget, even the midget, El Chapo, is a little upside down over this. He's starting to get butthurt. But, you know, stuff is getting absolutely crazy. And speaking of crazy, when we come back from a break, I want to talk to you about what's coming out of Iran, whether there's a deal or no deal. We'll be right back.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, and on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern and 11 Central here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Red Nation Rising brings you Town Hall Radio.
From a single tweet to 3 million a month, our community is a force to be reckoned with on social media.
So don't miss our show, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on K98 Talk.
Our chat room is our co-host, and you ask the question.
Join us and be heard.
So get ready to sound off on Red Nation Rising Radio. No one else is going to do it for you.
There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling out my name like a long...
As a distinguished gentleman, I need a serious source of news. One that doesn't waste my time when I'm enjoying my tea and crumpets.
White powdered! White powdered!
One that catches the most important stories of the day.
The poop plane.
Was it jet poop? Real serious nonsense. Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, now on K98 Talk.
I'm gonna just move in another direction towards the classy.
We'll be classy and not say dildo.
They're completely different.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding, or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at FindWW.
Call now. 913-440-4889.
All right, we are back, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Iran, whether there is a deal or no deal. And yes, if you didn't catch that last little bit coming back from a break, I think we've been able to wrestle some of our gremlins on the technical side, and we may be able to take some of your calls. You may be a guinea pig tonight to see whether or not you can actually make it through. So the call-in number is 913-440-4889. Again, please bear with us if there are any technical difficulties. but we're trying to work them out. We're trying to make this a little more of an interactive show. We want... what would we be here without you guys, right? Okay. Iran. Get this. John Horse-face Kerry is out there, whether you want to believe it or not, he's out there making us look like a cheap $2 whore, hoping to get lucky. But Iran isn't playing around here. They actually have us cornered. And so, look, if we don't take the deal, we look like the bad guys because we can't make a deal. If we do the deal, Iran looks like the hero because they were able to calm the giant, the American, that they were able to calm the giant and actually get the deal. Now the deal is, yes, the Iran nuclear talks, but understand this. While we're over there, while Horseface is hard at work negotiating, the Iranians flooded the streets because of the holiday. It's Al-Quds Day or Al-Quds, whatever. Well, while they were out there celebrating their holiday and burning U.S. and Israeli flags and chanting "Down with America" and "Death to Israel," while Horseface is hard at work trying to get this deal. I mean, this is the biggest thing that's facing the world right now. If you listen to any of the kooks, if you listen to Kerry or Obama about this, what they're doing, what they did at the time over the weekend, or was it Friday? No, it was Friday. Friday, when they were in negotiating, Iran releases an app for your smartphone where players can compete to launch missiles at Israel. But Iran only wants nuclear weapons. I mean, nuclear power capability. They only want nuclear capabilities for peaceful things. So, they released this app on a holiday, Al-Quds, Iranian holiday. Well, here's what the project manager for game production, Mehdi Atasham, told Fars, an Iranian news outlet over there. He says the anti-Zionist game displays Iran's missile power, and the Zulfikar and Sajil, which I probably totally screwed up the names because they're Iranian. But so they've got these 3 different missiles, and they're used by the players in the game's first stage. And in this game, users break into the Zionist regime air defense and target Israel. So, yeah, we're over there negotiating with someone who is chanting "Down with America," who is chanting "Death to Israel," burning our flags, burning Israel's flags, while we're negotiating and trying to silence these monsters, while they're releasing a video game for your phone to wipe Israel off with nuclear weapons. But I only thought they wanted this stuff for peaceful reasons, right? They only want to power their country. Whatever. Anyway, you've got to be a fool to think that what's going on is that anything good is going to come out for this. Again, like I said, if we don't do the deal, we look like the bad guys, because here Iran is trying to make all these concessions. Iran's going to come out and Khamenei's going to say, oh, we made all of these concessions. We made concessions. We tried to make deal. And if we do the deal, then Iran's going to look like the hero. Khamenei's going to get out there and say, see, I told you, we can make America great. We can make Iran great. We make America step down and concede to us. We make deal. We did great things. Anyway, let's just hope Khamenei can get another extra life on his little app while he's trying to shoot little digital missiles on a phone and blow stuff up. Because apparently in Iran there is an app for that. Well, you know what? We're going to take another break. You are listening to Daniel Stafford here on the Stafford Voice, where, yes, we are conservative in a world of liberal. Our home is on K98 Talk, K98Talk.com. When we come back, tomorrow is kind of a special day for me. I mean, if you've listened to us in the past, there's something pretty cool coming up tomorrow. I don't want to ruin the surprise. It's a book. But when we come back, I want to talk to you a little more about how this book came about. And then maybe we'll throw out some history, and then we'll hopefully get around to playing a game of Who Said That. Catch you on the flip side.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level, or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Welcome to Miss Taliban 2015. I'm John, and tonight I am joined with my co-host Steven. How are you?
I'm good, John, and I'm super excited to host Miss Taliban 2015 with you.
You know, Steven, I can't remember the last time I saw so many beautiful women.
So true, and it looks like tonight's theme is black. Not everyone can pull off the burqa like this group of contestants. John, what do you say we send it down to the stage to hear from some of our ladies?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's send it down to Michael for our question and answer portion.
Steven, John, thank you so much. I've got contestant A with me, and your question for tonight is, with the recent passing of the Saudi king, how do you think it will impact the region? Thank you, contestant A. Contestant B, your question is, what are your thoughts on the new burqa standards? Great answer, contestant B. Our final contestant of the night, contestant C. What is your recent reaction to the recent State of the Union speech by President Obama? Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. John, Stephen, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Stephen, the judges have got their work cut out for themselves tonight.
You couldn't be any more correct. They really had their hands full during the swimsuit part of the competition. I don't know about you, but I know I've got my eyes on.
Well, it looks like our judges have tallied up their scores, and we are just about ready to announce the winner of Miss Taliban 2015.
You know, usually the previous winner will crown the next, but Miss Taliban 2014 was stoned to death for showing too much of her eyes. With that, let's find out who won, shall we?
It is with our distinct honor that this year's Miss Taliban 2015 is contestant C.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Miss Taliban 2015.
Breaking news.
this just in, Miss Taliban 2015 has been announced. However, there was so much excitement that it set off her suicide vest.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in... listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works. President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before. Did someone say green? Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind? Now, do you say good things about me on the show? No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much. The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation. Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo? I got a pen. I can veto that, you know. I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it. Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either. That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the 405.
Conservative in a world of liberal.
The Stafford Voice.
All right. And if you were with us before the break, I kind of teased you about something that's coming out tomorrow. I'm super pumped about this. I've been waiting for this for a couple of months, actually. But yes, it's a silly little book. It's a book. Silly little book, whatever. But, so yes, I love to read. And, you know, I'm always on the go. But being that I'm on the go so much, I don't always have time just to sit down and pick up a good book and read. The last time that I did that was like never. Because I just don't have the time anymore. But I do have a smartphone and a tablet. And I've also got a good subscription to audible.com. Whether I'm driving across town, mowing the grass, going to the bathroom. Okay, look. Whatever you're doing, it is just that easy. You download the audiobook on your smart device through the Audible app, and you can stay caught up on all these great books that you want to read, but you just don't have all the time. Well, all you have to do to take advantage of this, I mean, listen, this deal is great. Just to get your feet wet and let you know how awesome it is. Because you're a listener, all you have to do is head over to audibletrial.com/polititainment. You will get, on top of the free 30 days, no strings attached trial, you're going to get one free book. And since it's part of Amazon, you're going to, I mean, you're going to be amazed. There's like hundreds and thousands of books to choose from, even the newest releases. So you got two different ways you can do this. You can either go over to polititainment.net and click the Audible banner, or you can go to audibletrial.com/polititainment. Again, that's audibletrial.com/polititainment. And while, since you are already there, go ahead and at least wait until tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th, and download Harper Lee's new/old book, Go Set A Watchman. So this is the book I was telling you about. I am super pumped. So about this book. Now, if that name sounds familiar, Harper Lee. Harper Lee's famous book she wrote, and really it's the only one that's ever hit the stands with her name on it. The only one that's ever been published was To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, so here's the story behind how Go Set A Watchman came about. Like a lot of things that are really cool, they get discovered by accident. I mean, you're out swimming with the family. Next thing you know, you're swimming down to the bottom of the ocean, and some dead pirate is laying down there, corpse and all, and well, he can't fight you, so you take all of his gold. Down go pirates. Anyway, so go Set A Watchman, discovered by accident, and this started back in 2011. So we're 4 years in the making, by a guy named Sam Pincus, and he just happened to be Harper Lee's literary agent, and he wanted to inventory her assets. And one of the things that he was really trying to find, he really wanted to find the original manuscript of To Kill a Mockingbird. I mean, if you're that big of a fan of the book, I mean, I am. I absolutely love the book. I've read it a couple of times. I've seen the movie. I mean, Gregory Peck did an absolutely played a fantastic role of Atticus Finch in the movie. But so Pincus wanted to have the original manuscript appraised, and through some research, he wound up going to the safe deposit box of Harper Lee, and with permission, inside that box, they found what appeared to be a manuscript. Now, fast forward a couple of years, Pincus was at one of Lee's family gatherings in 2014, I'm sorry. Well, pretty much everybody in the family was sitting around talking about a second novel that they thought she wrote. So, Pincus he goes back to the safe deposit box, and because there was a couple of things in there. There were 2 or 3 things. There was a box, and then there was a kind of a half-sealed envelope, and then there was a manuscript and some various papers. So he goes back, and he found what appeared to be the title page to Go Set A Watchman. So he goes back to meet Harper Lee, and he says, Nellie, or Nell, it's N-E-L-L-E, I don't know how you would pronounce it, Nell or Nellie, and that's, I guess, what she went by. But so he says, Nell, when I was in the safe deposit box, I found something. She said, what? I said, it's a manuscript of a novel called Go Set the Watchman. She said, it's Go Set A Watchman. So right then and there should set off some really, it should set off some wheels spinning inside a guy's head that's been looking for something really cool. And here it is, inside Harper Lee's safe deposit box is a manuscript to a novel that nobody ever knew about. So he asks her, he says, is it finished? And she said, I guess it's finished. It's the parent of Mockingbird. So here we are. Tomorrow, it actually hits the stands. I am going to get my greedy little fingers on a copy, and I cannot wait to find spare seconds and minutes to dive into this novel. I mean, I'm not a fiction reader. I love history. I prefer to read history and business and management books. I'm not a big fiction person, but Go Set A Watchman is definitely one on my radar, and I cannot wait to get my greedy little fingers on a copy tomorrow and dive into it. But on top of this, inside the safety deposit box, guess what he did find? He did find the original manuscript to Kill a Mockingbird. It was in the half-sealed envelope that was addressed to Harper Lee that she never opened. It just went into the safety deposit box with the other items, and it pretty much got forgot. That's a pretty cool story, huh? I mean, who would have ever guessed that there was a parent novel, a parent story that goes with or before or after or along with To Kill a Mockingbird? I mean, To Kill a Mockingbird is one of those time-honored classics. I only hope that I haven't set my sights too high on Go Set A Watchman, but super excited nonetheless. Now, on this day in history, back in 1985, man, it seems like it was forever and a day ago. It was like 30 years ago. Woo, man, getting old. that was a joke. Back in 1985 on this day was the Live Aid concert. And if you don't know what Live Aid was, if you're too young to know, that was the dreaded 16-hour concert that was viewed by more than, yes, 1 billion people in more than 110 nations. I mean, it was so many networks came together and all the satellites fell in line, and it was broadcast on almost every major network at the time and across almost every single radio wave. This was a big thing back then. I mean, we're talking multiple countries. I mean, I think there were 3 different countries where they were actually holding concerts. And at one point, early in the day, who was it? Wow, I can't remember. Was it Phil Collins? Anyway, so one of them, boy, that really bothers me. I can't remember his name. So he performed in the morning in one country, and he hops on a he was playing in London, hops on a Concorde jet sets out to, where was it? It was Phil Collins. So he jumps on a Concorde from London at where he had performed earlier in the morning, and he flies out to Philadelphia same day and performed in 2 different countries. I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal. But here in the U.S., the concert ended with that famous song that will get stuck in your head if you happen to listen to it. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. Yes, I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, rocking back and forth, clapping and singing like, not Michael Jackson. Stevie Wonder. I mean, anyway, yeah, sorry you had to listen to my horrendous singing, but eventually it did raise $127 million in famine relief for Africa. I don't know how much of that actually went towards famine relief. Nonetheless, I mean, the idea was there. Good hearts. I mean, good intentions. It probably didn't even really put a dent in it. But they have gone on and done subsequent aid concerts like this since then. I think they've raised more than $10 billion over the last 30 years to help relief aid for Africa, whether it's AIDS relief or famine, whatever. That's pretty cool. I mean, you got to know your history, right? And that's just one of those things that a lot of people can think back and remember. You know, yeah, I was just a kid. I was only 5 or 6 years old, and I remember that song. I remember watching it. I mean, all the famous people, you're like, oh, wow, that's what he looks like? Oh, that's a face that goes with that voice. So, I just thought it was kind of cool. I mean, the idea was there. Any more these days, $127 million isn't going to buy you much, but a TV ad for Donald Trump to... You know, speaking of ads, am I the only one out there that is hoping Donald Trump's first presidential ad is in Spanish? I really want it to be in Spanish, not English, only to just completely flip them over again. I mean, that would just be absolutely hilarious. I would die laughing. Whew. It would be funny. I think the heat is starting to get to me tonight. I think the heat index right now outside the studio is like 100 degrees. Satan left the window open again, and it's hotter than blue blazes. But, after all, it is that time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Who Said That? Every week, we are able to find somebody that is completely stuck on stupid. And we just want to highlight them for their accomplishments. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, liberal, conservative, white, black, whether you identify as male or female, rich, poor, or if you're good looking or ugly. It doesn't matter. Who cares, right? If you're completely stuck on stupid, we're going to call you out. And this week, last night was Miss USA 2015. And a lot of the hubbub over it was because they cut Trump out. Trump had to go find a new avenue to host the event, whatever. But you know, the question and answer period, I feel for those ladies. I mean, all those fancy lights, and you can't hardly see in front of you because they're so bright. You can't hear because you got 4 inches of hairspray holding your hair down and blocking everything. Who am I kidding? I don't feel sorry for these people. This is what they signed up for. But anyway, check this one out. I mean, the question, you got to stay on your current events, ladies. Ladies, stay on your current events. This, my friends, is not how you respond to a question.
What would you do to improve race relations in the U.S.? Please be specific.
What I would do to improve race relations in the U.S. is get more races grouped together and be able to be with each other in a let's see. I apologize. I think what we need to do is bring we need to be more accepting of each other, and we need to bring people together. That's what I think we need to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
all of you.
Oh, good heavens. I mean, you're on one of the largest stages. I mean, you're getting ready to completely change your life, good or bad, however you want to look at it. But that was Miss Nevada last night at Miss USA 2015, and she's asked about race relations. Her answer starts out about how we need to get racist groups together and oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh God, that was horrendous. That was horrible. It's more... Oh, Jesus Christ. The lady was just completely stuck on stupid. And if you're still in the chat room, Ron says that was painful. Yes, I have to completely agree. Absolutely painful. I mean... maybe they just need to get rid of the question and answer period, because for the most part, all they do is, I'm just for starving children in Africa, and I want everybody to be happy. And thank you so much. Yay! They don't even answer the questions. So maybe we do need to clap for Miss Nevada because she tried? Maybe? No? Oh. Anyway, I don't watch Miss USA, don't watch Miss America, I don't watch any of those. It's boring. I would much rather pick up a good book and read or study some good history. Oh, it's painful. Painful, I say. Oh, but anyway. You know what? We are about out of time, and I want to make sure you know how important you are to me as a listener. I've got a lot of love for everyone that tunes in. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And yes, while that is all the time we have for this week, God willing, the Stafford Voice will be back here next week. You can follow me on the Twitters at Stafford Voice, and if you're following me on Stafford or on the Twitters, make sure with your smartphone or your smart device, make sure you download Periscope, and you find me there as well. It's linked in with Twitter. Once you log in with Twitter, it's going to suggest a bunch of people. Go out, find all your friends, make sure everybody knows about Periscope. It is right here, it's right now. It's a way for a host or anybody on any level to connect on a different way, a different level with so many different people. I mean, on July 4th, on Independence Day, somebody sent out a I think it was at Turning Point USA, they sent out a challenge to Periscope yourself doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, of course, I'm going to jump on that. So that's some of the cool stuff you can expect with Periscope from me, is just throwing out a thought of the day. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be giddy with All Get At, and I'm going to show you my copy of Go Set A Watchman, because I'm super stoked about it. But since you're out there on your smart device, look me up on the Facebooks by searching for the Stafford Voice. You can email your questions, comments, concerns, hate mail, whatever. I will read and respond to all of them to thestaffordvoice@gmail.com. That's thestaffordvoice@gmail.com. Again, I want to thank you so much for your time, and until next week, thanks and God bless.